I am a 16-year-old girl named Jackie. When I was 15, I never listened to my parents and never bothered to. I was on a 24/7 suicide watch because of my attempted suicide and self-harming myself with many things that I could find that were sharp. I was a big user of drugs. Marijuana was the second thing I've done besides self-harming I did. I would pop pills and crush up Tylenol and snort that like it was cocaine. Then it went into me hanging out with the wrong crowd, skipping class, off to smoke or do something, then go back to school. There was also something different about me that my mother doesn't like, but she deals with it anyway. I am bisexual. She never liked the fact that I was AC/DC, going both ways. She always wanted me to date guys, but that wish didn't happen well for her. I always abused my mother. I never cared if she was hurt or close to death. I'd yell at her and call her really bad names, and go back to sleep. While my brother would try to help her, here I am laying in bed, laughing at her, to myself. I don't live with my dad, so it's not like I had any problems with him. He was my escape from my horrid mother of mine. He knew about my issues that I had at the time, but he couldn't do anything about it when he was away at work. My younger brother had to be in the room with me where I was, so if I tried to do anything, he'd call my father. I've tried to run away many times, and I did once. I lived with my girlfriend at the time, who I'm not with anymore. I lived with her for a while until I had the right to come back home, because when I ran away, she found me. I was kicked out of the house, and she had my stuff with her, threw it on the ground in front of me, telling me to F off. But my girlfriend wasn't any help at the time with my drug use and self-harming phase. She did the same thing I was doing, so it's not like I could find in someone to help me stop the bad habits I had. After I went back home, things just went way out of control. It was consistent chaos in my home. Finally, my mother gave up on me trying to help. She sent me away to some place in Boston, some rehab type of place, all girls only, where I could go to school at normal times like any other teenager could. I found a new girlfriend there and got engaged to her. By now I am 16 years old. I didn't have a care in the world. When I would go back home for a weekend or something, when I was still chaotic, I would have unprotected sex with either my girlfriend or boyfriend. I wouldn't listen to anything my mother would say about that. She's walked in on me and we wouldn't stop. She would try to stop us, but it never worked. Now that I go back and think about the things I've done, I know I've hurt many people, my parents, my brother, and a friend of mine by the name of Samantha. She was always there for me when something would happen. She did try really, really hard to help me as much as she could. We would meet up and we would talk about the things that would be going on in my life. I owe a lot to her still to this day. She did it for free because she cared so much, and she still does to this day. She was there for me more than my own mother. Now that I am done with that I have done in my past, I do feel guilty about the things I've done. I've been arrested many times and hurt so many people around me that I care about. How all of this affects me now. It hurt gotten caught many times. I never learned anything from the experience I've had. That was then. But now I have learned from experience that what I've done is something I shouldn't do. I haven't really gained a new attitude or respect yet. I have, but it isn't where everyone wants it to be. I am very vulnerable. I was very vulnerable when I did all the things I've done. But there's one thing that most likely won't change about me being bisexual, and I think I've grown more mature about the things that I've done. Written by Samantha, Vanity Vengeance. Inside a friend's mind, never could you think something like this would happen.
To my mother, to my